force the Rays to put the ball in play on the ground, and if he's doing that effectively, he can be very tough to go up against.
Last night, the Rays wanted Yusei Kikuchi to work the ball down. Tonight, they want Soriano to work the ball up where they can get to it. It's a very interesting contrast. The Rays have already faced him once. He allowed 1 run in 7 1/3 innings against the Rays in Tampa, and that was in an 11-1 victory. Last start, 2 runs, 1 earned in 7, but in a loss, 6-3 to the Rangers. So the Rangers, in essence, outpitched Soriano. Now, he's been worse at home than on the road. His ERA is almost double at home, almost a 5. Hopefully that holds tonight. Chandler Simpson of the box. We're set for baseball on a Tuesday night. And the first pitch is outside at 97 for ball 1 to Chandler Simpson. Since he left the lineup on this, as we start on a 79-degree night, the pitch from Soriano, 1-0. Slashed foul behind third, past Brady Williams down the coaching lines. It's 1-1. Michael Johns coaching first. Since Chandler Simpson left in that rain-delayed game against the Yankees right at the deadline, the Rays are hitting under 200 with 20 more strikeouts than hits. As the next pitch just misses the inside part, it's 2-1 on Simpson. Hitting .297 with 15 runs batted in.
Yeah, you were talking about that with me beforehand, and it's just incredible to see how much of a difference this lineup is with Chandler Simpson in when he's at the top.
As a 2-1 knuckle curve is in there for a strike, 2-2. Now, one other note, this is also not only without Simpson, but right after Jonathan Aranda got hurt. So the Rays lost not 1 but 2 key left-handed bats. 2-2 to the leadoff man. The pitch is a beautiful breaking ball for called strike 3. Simpson, who rarely strikes out, goes down looking, and that's how we get started as we set the Angel defense.
Left to right on the infield. Osuna Peraza on third base. Zach Meadow at short. Christian Moore at second. Nolan Shonowell over at first. Logan O'Hoppe behind the plate. Left to right in the outfield. Taylor Ward, Bryce Teodosio. I had it earlier. And Joe Adell on the right.
Yandy Diaz chops one off the plate towards second, charging and fielding Moore. Overhand flip gets Diaz, who hit it hard but beat it right into the ground, that 98-mile-an-hour seeker. And just like that, 2 gone here in the first inning for Soriano.
You know why I'm looking at you. You know, I had his name yesterday, Teodosio, and I just did a pregame show where I said his name about 10 times. 9 of them were probably correct, but 10 times. And, of course, I come up here and I look at it and I'm like, oh, boy. I couldn't even read my own writing. That's what it was.
Well, Brandon Lau, who had a day off yesterday, hopefully he can read the arm of Soriano, and first pitch is in there, but called a ball. Ball 1, that was right down the middle, right at the knees, but Alex Tosi said it was low. Lau, 19 homers. The pitch, swinging a ball, chopped foul to the netting, 1-1.
Boy, you can just see the action on Soriano's pitch. I mean, you can see it from up here in the press box, but my goodness, at 97, 98 miles an hour, to be able to create that much movement, and it's horizontal movement, but it's also got some depth to it. The depth is where, the ground ball comes into play.
1-1 with 2 down to Brandon Lau. That's up and away. Curve misses. It's 2-1.
That's another pitch that he likes to feature, that curve ball. Probably, again, his best swing and miss option.
Works extreme first base out of the rubber. Pushes off, and now that curveball misses again, and he's 3-1 on Brandon Lau.
Yeah, the reason he does that, going all the way over to the first base side, is as a right-hander throwing a sinker, you can start it at the left-hander. You can pretty much start it at the hip, and it'll break back over the plate. Very hard for a left-hander to pick up.
3-1 with 2 out here in the Rays first. Outside, ball 4, and Lau draws a walk. Now Soriano will walk his fair share, and the Rays get their first base runner. So Brandon Lau accepts the walk. Now it's Junior Caminero, who had pretty good at-bats yesterday. The Rays as a team, though, I think Kevin Cash was pretty blunt post-game. He felt they missed a lot of fastballs in the strike zone. Junior just missed one flying out to the wall. He also had a sac fly, his team-leading 73rd ribby. And he swings and misses at a sinker that runs away from his bat. It's 0-1. That looked like a cutter.
It did. It looked like a cutter, and you just got around that pitch. And Caminero, it looked like he was determined to swing no matter where that was, because that was about a foot outside. 1
strike pitch coming, right on right. Up and in, a fastball, and it's 1-1. Really impressive that Soriano really can do two things with that fastball. He can, maybe three or four. He can ride one there, top of the zone, run one at the bottom, and then run one that runs away from a righty. 1-1 to Junior. Slider in there, or knuckle curve for a called strike. It's 1-2, and he's dropped that in a couple of times to have hitters bailing out.
Well, you can see why he was so good against the Rays earlier in the year. If he's in the strike zone, he is very tough to square up.
One of the better young right-handers in the game. 1-2. Down and in. Doesn't chase the curve here. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. He will waste a few pitches, I think, considering how good his arsenal is.
Well, one thing I would love to see, with the Rays tonight and Soriano 15 pitches in, is work the pitch count to where you can get the starter out of the game early. They tried to do that with Kikuchi yesterday. Unfortunately, after the 3rd inning, Kikuchi was able to find a groove.
Swing and a miss at a splitter down and in. The first one that Soriano threw in the frame, and it fans Caminero, and that's 2 strikeouts with just a walk allowed in the first for Soriano. Rays retired. Angels coming up on the Rays Baseball Network. Doug, what do we look for from him as he looks for a bounce back from his start in New York against the Yankees?
That's it. You're looking for the bounce back. 6-9 on the year, 3.80 on the ERA, 23 games. Has a career high, 130 1/3 innings pitched. He's been trying to get deeper into the games throughout this entire season. 5 of the last 6, he's gone 6 innings. But it all depends on the four-seam fastball and the changeup, in my opinion. If he's commanding those 2 pitches and keeping the ball in the park, should be good.
First pitch grounded toward third. Handled back of the bag by Caminero. Sets, fires just in time to get the hustling Zach Neto, who is the Hustle or Heart and Hustle Award winner for the Angels today. And on one pitch, there's one out. Let's set the defense for the Rays.
Well, left to right in the outfield, Chandler Simpson over in left field, back in the game tonight. Johnny DeLuca in center field, Jake Mangum in right. Junior Caminero at third base making that play. Taylor Walls over his short, Brandon Lau at second base, Yandy Diaz at first, and then Hunter Fiducia back behind the plate.
First pitch from Pepio to Nolan Shonowell is lifted toward the left field line. Simpson coming over, but this will fade back into the seats, and it's 0-1 on Nolan Shonowell.
So I was looking down while I was introducing Ryan Pepio, and as soon as I said he's got to keep the ball in the yard to have a good day, I heard the crack of the bat, and I'm like, oh, my goodness. I didn't see where it went, but luckily Caminero was able to make that play.
And it was on the ground as the pitch swung on, hit in the air towards center. Well, but not that well. Johnny DeLuca barely has to move. Reaches up and makes the grab, and there's 2 quick outs on only 3 pitches here in the first for Pepio.
Pretty aggressive approach so far against Pepio. The one thing is with Pepio, he's going to attack you. So a lot of teams will go out there with the thought, hunt for a fastball early. Because if he's ahead of you, then he can go to that changeup. Then he can go to pitches off the plate and go for the strikeout.
Well, that was a fastball middle. When he's at the top of the zone, as Mike Trout takes inside corner fastball strike, 0-1. It's a lot harder to deal with than hit. 0-1 on Trout. 23 homers allowed by Pepio this year. Of course, Zach Littell, the former Ray, leads the majors with 26. as a slicer foul to the netting on a slider, and it's 0-2. And the odd thing is that 17 of the 23 homers allowed, or excuse me, 14 of the 23 allowed are right on right. So more homers against righties, where you would think he'd have an advantage, than the lefty. The 2-strike, 2-out pitch is up high. Fastball, it's 1-2.
And the reason for that is the changeup. That's the sole reason for that is because left-handers have to respect the fact that changeup is very hard on them. Right-handers can see the changeup a little bit better, still hard on them, but it's a little bit different.
As a 1-2 changeup just misses inside. Might have clipped the corner, but called the ball. It's 2-2.
Not on Mike Trout. You're not going to get that call. Now, the interesting thing to me, I was looking at splits. You're talking to righties versus lefties against Pepio. Right-handers are hitting 312 off of his fastball. Left-handers are only hitting 180.
2-2. Fouled off to the right, and it's still 2-2. And you look at this lineup for the Angels, it is loaded with right-handed batters. Now, it's because of the way their roster is currently constructed more than anything, but we'll get into it during the game. How does Ryan Pepio deal with all these right-handers based on the numbers? 2-2 again. Fouled straight back again, and Trout, after 0-2, is battled to keep the count even.
It's just always scary when Mike Trout is in the box, and that 3 home runs away from 400. I mean, this is a guy who's been so good. He's just got to stay healthy. When he is healthy, he's still one of the best bats in the league.
DHing tonight. Swings and cracks it foul to the right. Out of play again, late to the fastball. Hit the third deck and came back down all the way into the first level. It's still 2-2. So what does Pepio do to get right-handers quickly? He got 2 quick outs, a righty and a lefty, and now he's battling here against Trout. Working quickly. Here's another 2-2. Fouled off to the right.
He's fouling off all fastballs is what he's doing. And the reason Pepio keeps challenging him with the fastball is where the foul balls are going. The foul balls are going essentially over the first base dugout, telling you he's late on the pitch. If you throw him a changeup, it has to be out of the zone because you're doing him a favor by speeding his bat up.
Another 2-2 is top of the zone, called strike 3 on the outside corner. Pepio locates well and gets a 1-2-3 first with his first K. We're through 1, scoreless. Rays and Angels in Anaheim on the Rays Baseball Network.
Famous thin crust pizza since 1935. Whether you're celebrating a win or just enjoying a meal with family and friends, Colony Grill's famous thin crust pizza knocks it out of the park.
Ground ball the other way, and it's knocked down by the third baseman Peraza. Pops up, throws to first, and gets Josh Lowe. And quickly, 1 pitch and 1 out is Peraza, who used to be with the Yankees, makes quite a sparkling play, diving to his left to quickly get it out here in the second for Jose Soriano.
I don't mind that approach from Josh Lowe going out there looking for the first pitch. That pitch was up, but you know what? Soriano, if he's going to be in the zone early, why not get after it? The majority of the time it's going to be that sinker.
One out, base is empty for Jake Mangum, the Rays Heart and Hustle Award winner. And it's 0-1. Jake was quite flattered to receive that award for a number of reasons. Here comes the 0-1 to the switch hitter. And he swings and misses at a splitter down. It's 0-2. His dad, of course, was an NFL player, and they have a similar award called the Courage Award. And his dad won that award while playing in the NFL.
Of course he did. I mean, look, it's named the Heart and Hustle Award. This guy's the definition of heart and hustle.
Certainly is. As Soriano winds, throws, up and away. Splitter, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jake Mangum, who was 0 for 3 with a walk last night. Rays looking for their first hit in this scoreless game in the second. 1 out, a 1-2 from Soriano. Swinging a ground ball right back to the mound on a hop. Soriano's got it. Underhand flip gets Mangum. And Soriano's doing Soriano things. Every ball in place, guess what? On the ground.
Yeah, it's no surprise, right? Soriano's coming in here throwing the ball really well over the last 3. And the reason he's throwing the ball well, 2 reasons. He's in the strike zone. He's not hurting himself with walks. And secondly, he's getting a ton of ground balls. That sinker has been on point over the last month and a half.
Johnny DeLuca steps in and takes a called strike near the top of the zone, 0-1. The Rays getting Chandler Simpson back, but as a team, they're in quite the tough stretch offensively. And I don't know that Soriano is the cure to your ills when he's throwing like this. 0-1. Taken, called strike, slider, and it's 0-2. Not only is he throwing the sinker for a strike, he's throwing the knuckle curve, the splitter, and now the slider. So he's thrown 4 pitches already, 4 strikes. 0-2 is swung on and missed, a knuckle curve off the plate, and he just mows through the Rays here in the second inning, 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the second, scoreless Rays and Angels on the Rays Baseball Network.
You ever try fixing your car in real?
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Your day in baseball starts with MLB Central.
Let's get it started.
Lead off your morning with in-depth breakdowns.
Perfect balance. What? Boom.
Interviews with the players.
Get back to the fastballs. I know what that passion feels like.
And a little bit.
Keeping.
You behave properly.
Hey.
Of everything else.
Come on, Marlins.
The window seats are.
The baseball day begins with MLB Central. Weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. Only on MLB Network.
If you're not watching this show, you're the problem.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo.
Our neighbors in need. Learn more at duke-energy.com/Brighton Lives.
Well, we go to the bottom half of the second inning. We are scoreless between the Rays and the Angels here in Anaheim, and it's the middle third of the order against Ryan Pepio. Taylor Ward to lead it off, then Joe Adell, and then Logan O'Hoppe. 4-5 hitters, the ones who got Adrian Hauser last night. Ward takes just off the plate for a ball. Has a home run against Ryan Pepio in his career, has 26 of them this year. Open stance right side, the left fielder waits, and the pitch is fouled off to the right. Out of play. That was a slider, middle of the plate, bottom of the zone, but Ward was still late to it. It's 1-1.
Yeah, and I will tell you right now, if you're Ryan Pepio, and I've been in this situation firsthand, you're seeing what Soriano's doing on the other side, and you're trying to keep pace.
1-1 is way outside 2-1.
And you're seeing a guy who's very efficient. You want to be just as efficient. Go out there and try to get your guys back up to the plate as quickly as possible.
2 balls and a strike. Ward 2 ribbies yesterday. Swings and misses at a ball up around his eyes. A fastball that would have been ball 3. helped out Pepio. Now it's 2-2.
Well, you see the carry to the fastball. That was 96. Started at the top of the zone. Has that extra carry to it, and that's where he got the swing and miss off of Ward, who's really seeing the ball well lately.
2-2 is grounded weakly past the mound to second. Brandon Lau's right in front of it, on to first in time. And there's one gone as Ward is retired for the first out in the second in this scoreless game. The eye-high fastball in to a righty. How much better may that make his fastball play against right-handers?
It's absolutely critical. If you can go inside, now typically he just almost goes middle away with that fastball, just assuming the carry will take over. But if you set it up inside corner, that opens up the outside corner to your slider, which he hardly ever uses, but...
As a fastball hit in the air toward right, Jake Mangum is over. In fair territory, coming toward the line, he makes the catch. Joe Adele, who homered his first time last night, this time an opposite field shallow fly ball, and there's 2 quick outs here in the second.
Well, what I'm seeing so far from Ryan Pepio, and first of all, I love this, is that he is attacking and establishing the fastball. He's doing it early and often, and it's also sitting 96, 97.
As he drives downhill, and Logan O'Hoppe gets an up-and-in fastball and fights it off foul. At the plate, it's 0-1.
Yeah, you can see the carry to it also. I mean, these guys are swinging and missing underneath the fastball. And this is a four-seamer. This is a challenge four-seam fastball. He's trying to throw it over the heart of the plate, and when he's ripping it like this, you got that carry, you're going to see a lot of swing and miss.
Swing and a miss at a fastball elevated on the outer side part of the plate. And it's 0-2, so he's thrown one inside and now one outside, and he's got O'Hoppe, who had yesterday off set up. 18 homers, though, for the catcher. 2 strikes, 2 out. Here it comes. Up and in. Doesn't chase this time. It's 1-2. Little extra giddy up for Pepio at 97.
I love it. You got velocity and command right now with that fastball, and when he's establishing that early, that's where you typically see him have his best games.
1-2 pitch. That misses outside. Slider off the plate. O'Hoppe doesn't chase. It's gone from 0-2 to even. In second inning, Rays fell 5-1 yesterday. They were trailing from the second inning on. 2-2 out of the windup. Swing and a miss. He got him with a changeup. A foul tip held by Fiducia, and Ryan Pepio with a second 1-2-3 inning, and he finishes with his second K. So 2 complete in Anaheim.
Let's
Club Citgo app now and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up.
8-9-1 for the Rays. We don't have a hit in this game on either side.
Oh, I like it. You're jinxing them.
Jose Soriano for the Angels, Ryan Pepio for the Rays. Rays are just looking for any way to get it going against Soriano. Both starters have been brilliant so far. 24 pitches for Soriano, 23 for Pepio. Here's Hunter Fiducia. Swings and lines it to third. In between hop, though, snared by Peraza. He throws to first, and for the second straight inning, on the first pitch, Peraza makes a terrific pick over at third.
Well, and again, you're seeing the approach from the Tampa Bay Rays is very, very aggressive on Soriano. Obviously, they think that some of the best chances you're going to be able to hit him are going to be early in the count. Now, it could play against you with all this early contact. He's also getting a lot of quick outs.
It went into the eighth when he faced the Rays in Tampa as Taylor Walls takes all the way a strike, 0-1. I also like if you're going to go early and hit it hard the other way, because the only way you're going to get to that sinker is by staying middle away as the pitch. Swing and a miss. Sinker, and it's 0-2.
Well, and you're talking about the approach, or especially from the left-handers. Look, Josh Lowe, ground ball, first pitch, but it was a hard ground ball to the opposite field. We just saw Fiducia do the same exact thing. That's the approach you have to take. You have to go with the pitch to try to get Soriano.
0-2 is down and in. It's 1-2 on Walls, number 9 hitter, who, quite frankly, has been probably the Rays' best hitter over the last week or two during this tough stretch.
By the way, that was a 99-mile-an-hour sinker.
1-2 is chopped foul off the plate, still 1-2, and he just threw another one right behind it. He's thrown anywhere from 94 to 99, so he can even change speeds with his sinker, and he's got a splitter. He's throwing 90 to 92, a knuckle curve, and a slider so far tonight. Kicks the leg, the 1-2. That's low and away with the splitter, this time at 93. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Walls.
Really nice take right there. That was down and away. A lot of guys would be swinging for that pitch.
2-2 to Walls, batting left. Swings and misses at a fastball at 100. First time that Soriano's hit the century mark. And he continues to blow through the Rays lineup. He's now come up with a total of 3 strikeouts the first time through.
Well, this is a four-seam fastball. It's kind of rare to see Soriano go with a four-seam fastball because the sinker's so good, but when you can dot 100 on the top of the zone, you're going to go to that every once in a while and set it up perfectly.
Here's Chandler Simpson with 2 out and the base is empty. Swings and drives one on a line to right center. Adele, though, on the run is under it, and he makes the catch. First ball hit in the air. Simpson actually put pretty good wood on it on the knuckle curve, but it died in the alley, and the Rays down in order, and they're still hit.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player.
Runs have been given up at Steinbrenner Field.
2-2 is a little jam shot towards second, handled by Lau. On the run, he throws to first, and Peraza on a broken bat one hoppers the second out here in the third inning.
Well, the 50-50 charity raffle for the Yankees series is open. Fans who enter now get 2-for-1 chances to win the jackpot and enter to win an autographed item from one of your favorite Rays players. Enter online at Rays5050.com.
Bryce Teodosio stands in. He had 3 hits yesterday in the number 9 spot, and he takes up and in for a ball high.
Very nice, by the way.
Well, so was Teodosio yesterday. He did not have a big league hit before yesterday. He was a non-drafted free agent in 21. And 4 years later in the majors, the pitch. Swing and a foul tip held onto by Fiducia. And it's 1-1 strike on Teodosio with 2 out and the bases empty. Ryan Pepio trying to keep this game scoreless. 1-1 out of the full windup. Up and away, ball high, 2-1.
So I went on the pregame show, talked about Teodosio. I said he had the best night of his career last night. He has 8 games in the big leagues, but it was the best night of his career, Neil.
Well, how many 3-hit games are you going to get hitting ninth? 2-1. Popped up foul to the right. That'll land in the second deck. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, I'll tell you, Pepio is just bulldogging that fastball. He is challenging everyone with the heater. And, you know, a couple of these just middle. And saying, here it is. I'm coming right at you, 96, 98. Let's see if you can hit it.
2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him with a beautiful changeup on the hands. Right on right. And every inning, Pepio has gotten the leadoff batter on a ground out and the last one on a strikeout. He's perfect through 3. We're scoreless. Rays and Angels on the Rays Baseball Network. Yandy Diaz taking all the way, takes outside a sinker from Jose Soriano, 1-0. We've seen 1 base runner, a walk to Brandon Lau. He's on deck in the first 3 innings. The windup, the 1-0. Yandy's taking all the way. It's 2-0, and I kind of like the approach. Back-to-back 8-pitch innings for Soriano.
Yeah, you want him to go out there and work a little bit. Now, second time through the order, Yandy wants to definitely see some pitches here in this at-bat.
2-0 is a breaking ball that's low, and it's 3-0.
Well, again, it's a good approach, especially since Soriano has showed that he's been in the strike zone and he's been very efficient so far. Let's get this guy's pitch count elevated a little bit.
3-0 taken all the way. That's a strike, 3-1. Now, Soriano will walk guys. 61 and 134-plus innings this year. So occasionally he'll run into control issues. He's had as many as 5 in a game. The pitch. That's taken all the way, and it's gone from 3-0 to full. All right, now what does Yandy Diaz do? He took a fastball in the inner part of the plate at 98. Infield spread wide apart, the outfield straight away. The payoff coming to the Rays' first baseman. Swinging a chopper off the plate towards second. Tough play, Moore on the run. Can't make it. And Diaz is safe at first. That should be the first hit of the ball game. A Baltimore chop base hit by Yandy Diaz. He'll take it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, look, good on him for, first of all, pushing the count full, right? Seeing a lot of pitches. Now, this is a 98-mile-an-hour sinker, one that's very hard to get up in the air. And it didn't. Look, he hit it right into the ground, but Yandy hit it so hard that it was such a high chop. You know, he would have been safe either way, no matter if Christian Moore bobbled it or not.
Brandon Lau walked his first time. 19 homers on the year against Soriano. So tough to elevate. Rays have had one ball get to the outfield so far, but they do have the game's first hit. Lau from the left side waiting. Here's the first one from the stretch from Soriano, and it's taken all the way, high and away for ball one. You're not going to get many leadoff base runners. You're probably not going to get many chances. Yandy not really a threat to run. He's got 3 steals in as many tries, and Shonowell holds him aboard. 1 ball, no strikes. Infield to pull. The pitch to Lau. Swing and a ball driven. Deep in the air to center. Back on the ball, Teodosio to the wall. Leaps. And it's gone! A 2-run homer for Brandon Lau. His 20th of the year. And the Rays have a 2-0 lead. And by the crowd reaction, when Teodosio climbed the wall and reached, they thought he caught it, but he didn't, and the Rays are in front.
I was almost trying to figure out why the fans were reacting the way they did, as if he would have robbed the home run. Now, Teodosio, to his credit, tried to do everything he could to rob that thing, but Brandon Lau, I mean, doing something that's so difficult, driving the ball out of the park against Soriano.
It's his 3rd straight year with a 20-homer season. It's his 4th 20-homer season overall. And we'll tell you what all that means in terms of the big picture as the Rays have the lead. Junior Caminero stepping in. The pitch high for a ball 1-0. And I think a lot of the fans just saw the replay and saw how close Teodosio came to being Spider-Man.
Yeah, no doubt. He looked like a superhero climbing that wall. And, I mean, he did everything he could try to rob that thing. Look, a little Ken Griffey Jr.-esque.
As a strike taken on a knuckle curve, it's 1-1. For Brandon Lau, 20 homers in 3 straight seasons, playing predominantly second base. Guys to do that 4 or more times as a pitch fouled straight back, it's 1-2. There are second basemen now, Ozzy Albies, Jose Altuve, Ketel Marte, and Marcus Semien. That's pretty elite company. And in terms of Rays second baseman, he's got 3 of the 7 20-homer seasons now by Rays second baseman, make it 4 out of 8. 1-2 to Caminero, 2-0 Rays in the 4th. That's outside for a ball, and it's 2-2. The other guys to get to 20, Jorge Cantu, Logan Forsythe, and Ben Zobrist, who did it twice.
I forgot Ben Zobrist did it twice. I'm thinking of him as more of a power guy.
2-2 is pulled foul behind third, past Brady Williams, and it's still 2-2. Rays do get the first runs of the game, and with that, Mosaic donates $500 to Fighting Hunger in Tampa Bay. And the Rays got the first hit from Yandy Diaz. Every hit's a win with Suncoast. For every Rays hit, Suncoast donates $79 in honor of their 79 Florida branches, with up to $10,000 going toward 2 local nonprofits each month. 2-2 is wrapped toward third and through in a left base hit beyond the reach of Peraza. And the Rays have 3 hits consecutively, second time through the lineup here in the 4th inning, and they lead 2-0. Can they get more? Well, before they try to, Barry Enright, the pitching coach, out to the mound.
Well, it's a lot of hard contact right now, and this one on the ground, but it is still very, very hard contact from Caminero, doing a good job of seeing that pitch up. And so what did we talk about going into the game? We talked about if you're going to get to Soriano in that 98-mile-an-hour sinker, you have got to lay off the low pitch and try to get him up in the zone. If you can get him up in the zone, that's where you can do a little bit of damage. Brandon Lau was able to do it. Junior Caminero was able to do it right there, and so was Yandy Diaz. So these guys are showing you basically the playbook on how to get to Soriano. Now, I will say it's a lot easier said than done.
Without question. Heck, the home run by Lau was only the 8th that Soriano has allowed this year. We told you that Ryan Pepe has given up 23. 8 for Soriano, even with one tonight. Now, his numbers are worse at home for whatever reason and on the road, and we're hoping that continues as Josh Lowe steps in. Josh robbed of a hit by Peraza at third his first time. First one righty to the lefty on its way with the infield to pull. Swing and a miss at a knuckle curve below the zone. It's 0-1. Got a little bit anxious there.
Yeah, looking for the heater is exactly what that was, and that was essentially a nasty breaking ball down in the zone, and Josh just wasn't able to back off of it.
Caminero held it first by Shonowell. Nobody out fourth inning still. Here's the 0-1 coming. Swinging a little chopper up the first base line foul. It's 0-2. All right, so the Rays have a crooked number, but they really would like to get the big inning here against Jose Soriano. Can they do it? That's what's probably been lacking in this really unique stretch where the script has been flipped on the Tampa Bay Rays in the most difficult way possible. 0-2 coming with a runner at first. Down and in. Nice stop by Logan O'Hoppe. It's 1-2. The Rays started the year 21-26. Directly after that, they went 25-9, and their numbers, pitching, hitting, base running, were better than anyone in baseball. 1-2 to Josh Lowe with Caminero leading, and the throw to first not in time. Junior dives back, hit first safely. Directly after that, with the loss last night, the Rays are 9-24. Almost completely erasing a 25-9 run.
I would love to be able to explain it as an analyst. I can't. I don't know. I mean, look, we can point to certain things.
1-2 is chopped toward first and foul. Just wide of the bag, and it's still 1-2.
I mean, some injuries to the lineup, some key guys in the lineup, some time being missed. The bullpen has definitely had some shaky stints throughout. The rotation's been a little bit different from what it was and just not as dominant. But overall, it's really hard to say I've ever seen a 180 like that.
Next pitch is ripped in a right, a base hit for Josh Lowe. Caminero makes the turn at second. He's headed to third. Lowe going to second, and Joe Adell's throw will come into the cutoff man. It's a double rip to right for Josh Lowe. The Rays have 4 consecutive hits now in the fourth, and they are poised for a big inning, leading 2-0.
So last night the issue was not taking advantage of some early opportunities against Kikuchi. Tonight, another opportunity here early in the game, top of the fourth inning, man, on second and third, and you got a chance to plate these 2 runners across and get a couple runs here. So you have got to find a way to get these runners in.
Nobody out. The infield's going to come in for the Angels. Rays with 4 straight hits, and this is, I almost feel you got to come up with both runs here. The runners at second and third. Be productive. Jake Mangum, the heart and hustle winner for the Rays, stands in. The pitch. Swinging a chopper toward the hole. It gets in a right field base hit. Caminero scores. Josh Lowe right behind him. Jake Mangum, Baltimore chops it past the drawn-in infield. He brings home 2, and the Rays have doubled their lead. It's 4-0 in the fourth.
Well, if you're going to hit a ball on the ground, you got to hit it where they ain't, and that's exactly what happened with Jake Mangum going to the 4-hole. Christian Moore was pushed up the middle just a little bit, and Mangum, he drills this directly into the ground, but as you said, high chopper over the head of Christian Moore. That'll play 2 more runs early in the game here for the Tampa Bay Rays.
RBI's 29 and 30 for Jake. Here's Johnny DeLuca. And a throw to first, and Mangum, who's got 16 steals, dives back safely. Wouldn't be a bad idea to try and run or put a runner in motion to stay out of a ground ball double play. DeLuca did strike out on 3 pitches his first time. First one. Swung on and driven. High in the air toward right, but right at Adell. He backs up 2 steps, makes the catch, and Mangum back to first. I do like the approach going away or middle away with that fastball.
Well, again, it was hard contact. Even the outs are very, very hard contact. You can see a lot of barrels right now off of Soriano, and that's something that he's usually good at, is avoiding the barrel, right? Getting a lot of weak contact on the ground, and today it's almost the opposite. These Rays are doing a good job finding him up in the zone, and even though that was an out right there, it was still driven pretty far to deep right.
1 on, 1 out, 4 home, throw to first, not in time, as Hunter Fiducia standing in. The Rays had scored 5 runs combined in the previous 4 games. They've got 4 runs in 1 inning against a really tough right-hander in Jose Soriano. Infield very much to pull against Fiducia. The pitch, taken at the knees, a called strike. Sinker at 98, it's 0-1.
That's a great take right there. honestly. That's 98 miles an hour at the very bottom of the zone. Nothing you can do with that. So instead of beating that into the ground, take it, see if you can work the count.
0-1 to the Rays catcher. Swinging a ground ball the other way. It's against the defense and rolls on a left base hit. Mangum makes the turn at second. He's going to third. Fiducia digging for 2, and he's in there without a throw. And it's an opposite field ground ball double for Hunter Fiducia. Make it 5 hits in the inning for the Rays. First extra base hit for the former Dodger with Tampa Bay. And the Rays are poised for even more as Taylor Walls steps to the plate.
Absolutely perfect approach from Fiducia right here. He is not trying to do anything to the pull side. All he wanted to do that entire at-bat was think middle away. He gets the sinker away and beats the shift, and that was perfectly executed.
Second and third, 1 out. The infield comes in. Rays with 4 runs in the inning. Here's Taylor Walls. Struck out his first time. He squares and bunts it off to the first base side. Soriano barehand shovels home and gets past the catcher. A run scores, and it's 5-0 on the safety squeeze bunt by Taylor Walls. Fiducia down to third. Soriano was rushing. He barehanded the ball and threw underhand, and he threw it past O'Hoppe.
I think he actually had time right here. If you're a pitcher, you're trained to go after that as hard as you can. But the last couple steps, you got to slow down and try to get an accurate throw off. He did have time. He could have beat Jake Mangum to the plate with that underhand flip, but instead rushes it just a little bit, and by yanking the throw, that allows Jake Mangum to go in safe.
All right, Rays have first and third. They've got a catcher on third base. But you got Chandler Simpson at the plate. Do they try and use the safety squeeze with Chandler? Third baseman Peraza is in. Fiducia leading off the bag. Here comes the pitch on its way. He squares and bunts off the plate, foul, 0-1.
Well, this is where it gets really frustrating for a pitcher. You know, you go out there, you just made a mistake, allowed an additional run here. Now they're hitting you hard, now they're dropping bunts on you, and you just are spiraling out of control a little bit.
Simpson in his return to the lineup is lined to right and struck out looking. Wall's really good speed at first. Will he try and go? Soriano set. The pitch. Swinging is Simpson. He lines it toward left. That's going to drop for a base hit. That will score Fiducia. Going first to third as Walls. He rounds the bag and holds, and Simpson cruises into second with a double. The Rays have batted around, and they now have 6 runs in the inning, and there's still only 1 out. Chandler Simpson with his 9th double and 16th ribby.
I mean, another great approach. Chandler Simpson, left-handed batter, not trying to pull the ball. He stays on this pitch, drives it to the opposite field. You try to pull that pitch, you're out every time. Instead, willing to go to the opposite field and just take the base hit, instead turns it into a double with his speed, drops it in there, and my goodness, how about the attack of the Tampa Bay Rays right now?
Where has this been? The Rays have scored more runs in 1 inning than they scored in the last 4 games combined. And the bullpen is going now for the Angels. Boy, this is a welcome sight. This is the kind of thing the Rays did when they went 25-9. As a right-hander getting loose. Luis Garcia picks up a baseball in the Angel bullpen. Yandy Diaz chopped one off the plate towards second for the first hit in the game for the Rays. He will bat for the second time in the inning. The infield is back, conceding a run on a ground ball past the mound. First pitch coming. Yandy takes outside corner, strike 1.
I think you said it perfect. Where has this been? You're starting to see exactly why we believed so much about a month ago, why this team was so good. The balance in the offense, right? We're seeing a lot of power. How many doubles this inning, but also seeing the bunts.
There's a slider outside. It's 1-1 on Yandy.
Seeing a lot of small ball manufacturing runs, right? They're going back to the old school manufacture. You manufacture runs, you're going to put a lot on the board. You're going to put some crooked numbers on the board.
All started with a home run by Brandon Lau, who's on deck. 1-1. Swinging a ground ball hit hard towards short. Played by Neto. He bobbles, now goes to third, and in time to get Simpson. Walls crosses, though. The play goes 6-5. On the fielder's choice, Yandy Diaz will get an RBI, and the Rays now have a 7-0 lead as they tack on the extra point.
I'm surprised they went after Chandler Simpson here at third base. I mean, no one has speed, and Neto actually bobbled that ball. They were lucky to get the lead run right there. I mean, in Simpson, and it was a really good play. Ended up being a really good play, but very surprised that that's what he elected to do.
I was more surprised that Chandler decided to go and a ground ball hit right in front of him as well as he runs. But the run scored either way is a swing and a miss on a curve to Brandon Lau, 0-1. The next pitch will be the 30th of the inning for Jose Soriano. The Rays have scored 7 runs in this frame and lead 7-0 for Ryan Pepio, who's been throwing a ball off the wall in the dugout underneath to stay loose. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a chopper foul toward the screen. It's 0-2.
Hey, didn't Joe Adell hit 2 home runs in 1 inning?
He did. That was against the Rays in Tampa.
Yeah. How about a little payback?
I'd be okay with that.
Would you be okay with that?
I think everybody who's rooting for the Rays right now to get on track would be okay with that. 2 strikes, though, on Lau, who's walked and hit a 2-run homer in his return to the lineup. Day off yesterday did him good. You know, I know there are a lot of Rays fans who say this guy has to play every day, but sometimes a day off, especially in this case, lefty on lefty, freshens your mind and your thought process. 0-2 with 2 out. Up and away, it's 1-2.
Well, the stuff is still there from Soriano. That was 99-mile-an-hour fastball. It was just outside, and the command is totally different, right? Threw 16 pitches in the first inning, 8 in the second, 8 in the third. Now he's on his 33rd pitch here in the fourth.
A 1-2 it is. Line drive the other way and caught by Peraza at third. That will mercifully end the inning. By the Angels, they get a Bronx cheer in Anaheim. The Rays have a 7-0 lead as they go to the home fourth on the Rays Baseball Network.
This
and go deep in the game. Top of the order, second time through for the Angels. Zach Neto takes a called strike all the way, a fastball 0-1.
And he also had a lot of time to sit there and watch his guys round the bases, which is a great feeling, right? Great feeling as a pitcher. You just want to go out there and keep that same tempo he had.
0-1 is chopped foul off the plate on a curveball, and it's 0-2.
I'll tell you, the only thing that would change is the fact that you are now pitching to contact as much as possible. I mean, you're not going corners anymore. You want them to make contact early in the count. You want to challenge these guys in the zone.
0-2 is swung on and missed. A changeup in the dirt for strike 3. Beautiful pitch by Pepio. He has now fanned 4, and I think at least, 3 of them have been on the change?
Changeup has been filthy, but it's set up by the fastball. Fastball up in the zone sets his pitch up perfect, and he comes directly off of it with that changeup that has depth, and it moves inside on the right-hander, so it's a 2-plane pitch. A lot of swing and miss to it.
Nolan Shawnoel skied out on the first pitch he saw, and he takes up and away for a ball high. Fastball from Pepio. Infielded pull on the lefty first baseman Shawnoel. 7-0 Rays in the fourth inning. All the runs in the top of the inning. 1-0. Q shot on the ground, rolled to second. Easy play for Brandon Lau, on to first in time to get Shawnoel, and there's 2 very quick outs.
Well, just keep pounding the zone, keep attacking hitters. By doing so, you're putting yourself in a really good spot. You're staying efficient. And, he is getting a little bit more ground ball action today than he typically does. Love to see that.
Certainly would, especially with a lead this big as Mike Trout steps in. He struck out his first time up. Pepio winds and now fires. And there's a fastball strike outside corner, 0-1. Jared Tennant of Rays Communications says it's the third time this year the Rays have scored 7 runs in an inning. 0-1. Swing and a miss, high heater, it's 0-2. April 14th against the Red Sox. That was a game I think the Rays scored 16. They got 9 runs in the third. Third time they've scored at least 7 runs in an inning. They did it May 25th against Toronto. 7 runs in the 5th. 0-2 with 2 out to Trout. Check swing on a change. Did not go on appeal, says the umpire at first, Manny Gonzalez, who has the plate tomorrow. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Most runs in a road game in 1 inning since the end of the 23 season against Toronto. 1-2.
Wow, really?
Ground ball foul behind third. Past Bo Porter down the coaching line. Still 1-2. Eric Young Sr. at first.
Since 23?
2023, the end of the regular season. 7 runs in an inning doesn't happen very often.
You're right. There's a lot of baseball that's played in between that. But, good on the Rays going out there. Man, how much do they need that 1 inning? How about it?
Hopefully it allows him to relax. As a pitch on the outside corner called strike 3. Ryan Pepio is perfect through 4. He has struck out a handful. And we're through 4. It's all Rays. 7-0 over the Angels on the Rays Baseball Network.
And the great moments in baseball have been brought.
At Tops.com.
I can't say I saw this coming. Through 3 innings, Jose Soriano had allowed 1 base runner. He gives up 7 runs in the 4th, and his night is done. Our Weevil call to the bullpen is Luis Garcia, right-hander, replacing the right-hander. Unless you saw something I didn't see.
I did not. He was filthy over the first few frames, and I'll tell you what. I put the shades on because I think we're on TV again.
Oh, you wear your sunglasses at night. Junior Caminero fouls one straight back. It's 0-1. It's definitely a late-night game if Doug's put on the sunglasses when it's dark.
Hey, listen, let's have some fun, man. We are up by 7. Let's enjoy this one. Neil, I feel like we can take a deep breath. You know what I mean?
Well, you hope as a team the Rays can, too, as Junior Caminero, a single in that 7-run inning, stands in. The pitch. Swinging a high pop fly. Back behind home plate. Flipping off the Masco Hoppy. Shy of the track under it. He makes the catch. And Caminero retired by Garcia to start the 5th inning. Look, we've seen stranger things happen, though. There's still a lot of baseball to be played in this game. But you do feel pretty good about your situation. Is Garcia a guy who They just recently acquired from the Nationals at the deadline with Andrew Chafin, sets and deals to Josh Lowe. Taken, called strike. Josh ripped the double to right in the 7-run fourth inning. It's also grounded out to third.
You know, we were talking about what it takes to turn a stint around when you're losing. Like the Rays have been, you know, to be honest. And sometimes it's one huge inning. Sometimes it's a huge at-bat. Sometimes it's a big win. And, boy, I'll tell you, that was one of the biggest innings that I've seen from the Tampa Bay Rays all season. Maybe that'll kickstart it.
You certainly hope so. It's a pitch outside a ball, and it's 1-1. You know it's in there, 1-1. Swing and a miss, splitter, and it's 1-2. You think of, again, the fact that this team did go 25-9, so they're capable, and they still have most of the same players. You know, I know you said you hadn't seen it before. Brian Anderson's seen a bit of everything in his time in baseball. 1-2. Breaking ball inside, it's 2-2, and we were chatting about this as we got back to the hotel yesterday. He said, I've seen some strange things. I've never seen a team go from 25-9 to 9-24.
I think the biggest surprise for me was the fact that we were so balanced on offense, right? We were seeing a lot of power, a lot of consistency, but you're also seeing a lot of small ball.
As the 2-2's low, and it's 3-2.
And I just never seen that from the Rays offense. Really, I don't know if I've ever seen that kind of balance from the offense. And it was so hard to navigate through this lineup without giving them, you know, at least 3, 4, 5 runs. And then all of a sudden, it kind of just shut off.
As a 3-2 is socked foul into the Rays dugout, first base side, still 3-2.
And it was just, that's the most shocking part to me, but it also tells me that maybe it is that, you know, it happened that fast, the turnaround, maybe it can turn back around that quick.
Certainly hope so. There's time. A lot of work to do. Is his swing and a miss on Josh Lowe, and he's down on strikes. Really good sinker there from Garcia, who throws 97 after the 99s and hundreds from Soriano.
Well, the stuff is there for these Angels pitchers. We have seen some power arms between Soriano, some of the starters, all the way into the bullpen. I mean, now you're seeing Garcia sit 98, 99 miles an hour. So the stuff is there, but, I mean, this will tell you command is just as important.
2 out, bases empty, 5th inning. Pitch low to Jake Mangum with the Rays leading 7-0. Again, all the runs and all the hits in one inning. The Rays have 7 hits. Angels have zeros all the way across. 1-0 from the windup. Swing and a slasher foul to the netting. It's 1-1 on Mangum. Well, the one thing, the inning is great, but for this team to really get going offensively, what we're going to start seeing, or hope to start seeing, Doug, is multiple innings in a row. Not with 7 runs, but where you're constantly putting pressure on. 1-1. Swinging a chopper off the plate to second. Moore a nice high hop on to first, gets Mangum. Garcia a 1-2-3 5th, and we're midway through. Rays 7, Angels nothing. Back to Tampa Bay. Here's Chris Adams-Wall.
All right, thank you very much, Neil.
I'm trying to think how many of his no-hitters overall came just with the Angels. I thought his no-hitters were kind of broken up as Ryan Pepiot deals to Taylor Ward here in the 5th. Outside of ball 2-0. If you think you know the answer, well, without looking it up, you can tweet me at Rays Radio, at Neil Solondz, or you can tweet at Doug Wechter, too.
Right. Now, I will tell you, I have talked to Dwayne Stats about Nolan Ryan. And
2-0.
Dwayne called games.
Called strike 2-1.
With Nolan. And I know he's called, I believe, 2 of his no-hitters.
All right. The question.
Dwayne never was a broadcaster for the Angels.
That was all with Houston. Right.
With Houston.
2-1 is socked on the ground to short, off the backhand of Walls, and that's the first base runner for the Angels. It probably goes as an error on the shorthanded Walls. It is. It's his 4th of the year for the league's best defender. And now, for the first time, Ryan Pepiot pitching out of the stretch here in the 5th inning with Joe Adell coming up. Well, it's not going to be a perfect night for Ryan Pepiot. Of all the guys you would want a ground ball hit to, you would put Walls at the top of the list, but it went off the heel of the glove. First pitch to Joe Adell is fought off foul to the right, out of play. Fastball in the hands, 0-1. Rare miscue by Walls, rare miscue by the Rays.
Well, and the first time that we're seeing Pepiot in the stretch here, and so you want him to continue, pound that zone.
As an offering is low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. We're looking for how many no-hitters. Again, Nolan Ryan threw in this, or in the Angels' home ballpark, in this stadium. And if you think you know the answer, you can tweet at us. If he threw a couple for the Astros, I don't know if anywhere against the Angels. As a swing and a drive, deep to left, and this is the first hit for the Angels, and it's a home run for Adell. Well, the perfect game is gone. The no-hitter is gone. The shutout is gone. Rays still lead 7-2 in the 5th, but Odell just cracked his 23rd home run.
So we've talked about home runs. One of the things that Ryan Pepiot has been prone to this season. Joe Adell now his 23rd home run. Hit one yesterday and now today, both going to the pole side, and that's all he's trying to do. All he wants to do is hit the ball in the air to the pull side, and he gets a pitch up in the zone, stays back perfectly with his weight, and by doing so transfers that weight, uncorks that power, and drives that ball to the left side.
Foul straight back by Logan O'Hoppe, 0-1. That was a slider that hung in the middle, and it was hit 116 miles an hour. Sometimes I think some of these hitters for the Angels, they're going to be better off on sliders or breaking balls. There's a foul off the front of the dugout of the Angels, and O'Hoppe broke his bat. You're almost you're speeding up the bat sometimes by throwing that slider.
With the slider with Pepiot, that's the one pitch that he does need to locate it. When you're talking about his fastball just needs to be up, not necessarily pinpoint, just up with the carry it has. Change up, very similar, but down, right? He has so much movement. It's such a good pitch. He goes up and down with those pitches. That's great. With the slider, you got to put that on the outside corner against a right-hander. You really have to locate that away, because when you leave that middle of the plate, a lot of times you're able to take advantage of it and barrel it up.
2 strikes here in the 5th on O'Hoppe, 7-2 Rays. The Angels Sunday came back from 5-0 down to win 8-5 over the White Sox in the 9th inning. So there's still a lot of baseball to be played.
I didn't see that game, though, so it doesn't count.
0-2 is fought off foul to the right. Still 0-2. And we did see the Rays lose an 8-0 lead, or rather a 6-0 lead in a game that Pepiot pitched in Baltimore that really started this tough run. Well, he's got a chance to quash this rally to just 2 runs and then hopefully get through the 5th and much more as the next pitch bounces in and it's 1-2, and you just want to see him continue the same mode.
So as a pitcher, when you're out there and you start the game out so sharp and you're in this sink and you haven't gone into the stretch until the 5th inning, a lot of times you see things unravel pretty quick. And that's when you need to step off, take a deep breath, get right back in the zone.
1-2 is low, change up, and it's 2-2.
It's just a disruption of that tempo that you set early in the game, and you're trying to find that tempo, gain it back as quickly as possible.
2 balls, 2 strikes, still nobody out, 5th inning, 7-2 Rays is Pepiot. At the ready, now nods yes to Fiducia and fires. Fastball up and away, and it's full. So it's gone from 0-2 to full. Again, an error and a homer start this inning. And now you start to hear the crowd get into it a little bit. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The wind up the pitch. Take in just inside and low, ball 4. And there's an 0-2 4-2 walk. And Hunter Fiducia's headed out to the mound, and I think a wise move.
Yeah, you want to slow him down. You need to slow down Pepio. Just talk this through. And at a certain point, you just want him to find that rhythm, right? You got to remind yourself, hey, look, you still got a 5-run lead. And, you know, after pitching to contact all the way through the first 4 innings, that one long ball by Adele kind of shakes you up just a touch. You know, Fiducia going back out there said, hey, look, you know, I want to get right back in there. Let's start pitching to contact again. And by pitching contact, we should get some quick outs.
Christian Moore takes a called strike. It's 0-1. Grounded to short his first time, and right now a ground ball at somebody in a navy blue top would suit the Rays fine. 2 home, none out, 7-2 Rays. 0-1 is driven on a line, right center field, base hit. It splits the gap, goes to the wall. DeLuca plays it on the track, heading to third and waved home on the play, and coming home as the throw to the plate is in time, and Ohapi gunned down. Brandon Lau with a perfect relay from Johnny DeLuca. It goes 8-4-2, and the Angels, who knows, that might run themselves out of this 5th inning.
That was so needed for the Tampa Bay Rays. That was huge. Just an absolutely perfect relay throw. And my goodness, I mean, look, you know, the Angels are threatening at this point in time. And DeLuca firing to strike to Brandon Lau. Brandon Lau turning perfectly and throwing to Fiducia. And, I mean, this could not have done, they could not have done that any better. Perfect execution.
Oswald Peraza now with 1 out and a runner at second. Rakes his bat, rolls it toward third. Going to be a tough play. Caminero bare hands, throws in the dirt. Dug out by Yandy, but not in time. Peraza with a rolling infield single. Up to third goes Moore, and now men at the corners for Bryce Teodosio. And there's still just 1 out here in the 5th, and the Angels poised to get back in this game.
How big was that relay?
Oh, I still don't understand why the Angels would have risked
I don't
it.
either.
Down 7-2.
Down 7-2 with no run and no outs. I mean, I think that's an error by Bo Porter going out there trying to send him on that. And knowing, look, DeLuca is a very, very good outfielder. Brandon Lau, known for being a good defender as well. And so that was a risky call early in this game, down by so many.
Next pitch is outside to Teodosio, 1-0. He had 3 hits yesterday. He struck out today, his first time up. Well, Soriano really couldn't survive second time through the lineup. Pepio has run into trouble here, his second time through in the 5th. 1-0. Line drive to second, caught by Lau, throw to first. In-time double play. Brandon Lau has done everything tonight. A terrific relay, starts a double play, and a big 2-run homer that ignited that 7-run inning. That goes 4-3. The Angels do not want to review, and the inning short circuits. 7-2 Rays after 5 on the Rays Baseball Network.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol.
Webull trading and investing platform helps you stay ahead of the game. Step up to the plate and get started on your financial journey by downloading the Webull app or visiting Webull.com today. Webull Financial LLC, member SIPC FINRA. Investing involves risk. More info at Webull.com/disclosures.
We have a Webull call to the bullpen. It's Andrew Chafin for Luis Garcia, who had a 1-2-3 fifth. 7-2 Rays in the sixth, and Johnny DeLuca takes low from the veteran lefty Chafin. 1-0. We're also looking for an answer in trivia. I guess we'll give our guess. We didn't get any guesses from our fans in that last half inning. Maybe they were all caught up in the relay and the double play.
It was an exciting inning.
We'll give you the question again as Johnny DeLuca, 0 for 2, stands in and swings and pops it up into shallow right center field. Moore, the second baseman, out. Adele calls him off, and coming forward, the right fielder makes the catch, and DeLuca now 0 for 3 is the first batter gone in the sixth in this 7-2 game. Rays in front. Here's the question. How many of Nolan Ryan's 7 no-hitters did he throw in this ballpark? Be they as a visitor or, I guess, as a home player for the Angels? So you want to gander a guess out of 7? What do you think?
I think it's multiple.
Okay.
I'm going to guess it's got to be 2 or 3 is my thought. I'm going to go 3.
All right, whatever you say, I'll go slightly different, just so we have 2 answers covered.
Do you know the answer?
No, I have no idea. And neither did any of our listeners, so I'll go with 2. As Hunter Fiducia grounds one toward the hole at first, backhanded nicely by Shotwell. Underhand flip to Chafin covering. In time to get Fiducia, and there's 2 quick outs. Not a lot of time for Pepio to rest. Let's see if Taylor Walls can buy him some time as the number 9 hitter comes to the plate. And we'll give you an answer once we know it. There's not a whole lot of debate we can get into because it's not like I can walk through and remember all 7 of his no-hitters.
Right.
Because I just don't.
Did he throw a no-hitter with the Mets? Do you know that?
No. They were all, if I recall correctly, they were all with the Angels, the Rangers, and the Astros, but I don't know how many were at home, how many were on the road, how many were with each team. So it's a pure guess, 1,000%, and I think I don't even have a guess from our listeners, so I'm guessing they're as stumped as we are. Taylor Walls takes low from Chafin, and it's 1-0 here in the sixth. Again, 7 runs for the Rays in the fourth, 2 in the fifth for the Angels. And I really think Bo Porter sending Logan O'Hoppe where he was thrown out at the plate prevented what could have been a pretty large inning for Los Angeles. Next pitch is up and away for a ball, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, look, that could have been a big rally inning for Los Angeles Angels. There was a lot of hard contact. But Bo Porter, with that mistake, and with an early send in the inning, that really changed the dynamic.
As the next pitch swung on and missed, and it's 2-1 on Wall. Switch hitter now batting right.
Also some great defense. I mean, a perfectly executed relay from the outfield all the way into Fiducia at home plate. And then, again, another great play by Brandon Lau. Positioned perfectly up the middle for the double play.
Next pitch is a ball, and it's 3-1 on Walls. Nice to see him take some pitches. Buy some time for Pepio, and now a hitter's count. 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 out, base is empty. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ball, cracked foul to the right, out of play. It lands in the second deck, and it's full. Rays trying to get even in this series and even on this lengthy 12-game trip, a trip where the Rays need to make a little hay to get back where they want to go. They were so good on the road earlier this year. There was a time where they had the best road record in baseball. Payoff with 2 down. Swing and a miss, a slider, and down on strikes Walls. He chased ball 4, and the Rays down quickly and quietly in order. So bottom 6 we go. We'll get you the trivia answer when we come back on the Rays Baseball Network.
What does it mean to be? Take a hack at guessing which.
Alongside Doug Wachter, I'm Neil Solondz with Andy Fried on the television side. Chris Adams-Wall back in Tampa Bay. Zach Neto fouls one off to the third base side, 0-1. Mike Noto, our engineer in the booth. Jason Barringer back at our network studios. We're at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. 7-2 Rays, bottom 6. And after giving up 2 and some hard contact in the 5th, Brian Pepio trying to bounce back in the 6th and keep the Rays comfortably in front. 1 strike pitch to Neto. Up and in, almost hit him. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. A curveball that slipped out of Ryan's hand.
Nielsy, Andy's so much more handsome than I am. I can't believe that you got us mixed up.
Well, I was trying to say that he's not here tonight.
Oh, is that what you were doing?
1-1 is popped up a mile high in the air to center. Coming way in is Mangum and DeLuca the call and the catch. And there's one gone here in the home 6, 7-2 Rays in front. All right, well, we guessed, and I guess I guessed right, but I had no idea. I mean, we could have gone for days, and if you would have told me, hey, name when I had to name more than 1 or 2 of his no-hitters, I would have had a tough time. Of the 7, where they occurred and what year. As Nolan Shonewell stands in, batting from the left side. Swing and a slasher foul off the netting, 0-1. 7 no-hitters for Nolan Ryan. 4 came with the Angels, and the ones in this stadium came in 74 and 75 in back-to-back years, says Chris Adams-Wall. 1 strike pitch to Shonewell, taken inside with a fastball, 1-1. 1 came against Minnesota in 74 and against the Orioles in 75. Andy probably would have remembered the Oriole one just because of his knowledge of 70s and 80s baseball. 1-1 fouled straight back, and it's 1-2.
4 no-hitters with 1 franchise, and he had 3 others. Did you see the documentary on Nolan Ryan?
I did.
But it was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen when you start lining up all the numbers, because people don't realize. I think he had over 10 one-hitters.
I think it was 11.
That just the dominance that he showed when he was on the mound. And for how many years? 24?
27.
Right? 27 years.
There's a 1-2 swung and a miss. Strike 3. Good changeup for Pepio, and he comes up with his strikeout. That's 2 quick outs in the 6th with a 7-2 lead. Here comes Mike Trout.
It's a career that will never be matched, in my opinion. Especially now, with the way that the game is managed, you don't see guys go deep into the game like they used to do, and that was Nolan Ryan to a T. Just go out there and give him the ball and throw the pitch count out the door.
Well, I think there's something else that plays into it. As the pitch rolled foul toward third, 0-1. And it's look, people are human. The money.
Right.
Can you imagine how much, in 27 seasons Nolan Ryan would have made? 13 seasons, he would have said, all right, I'm good.
Right.
You have to be a special person as the pitch change up low and it's 1-1 to want to continue and pitch and pitch and pitch. And in his day, he was paid well, but not,
He was the first, I believe, $1 million contract.
He was among the first. I know that for sure. I'm trying to remember whether he was number 1 or not.
I think Dwayne Stats was telling me the story that I believe it was Houston, but I do know that he was essentially wanted to make a mark by signing Nolan Ryan as the $1 million man.
Well, there were many more millions made thereafter.
Now you're close to minimum if you're making $1 million.
2-1 is fought off foul to the right, and it's 2-2 as it lands in the third deck, and a nice catch by a fan in the front row of the upper deck.
I don't think he needed to leave his feet, but he did. And he's giving credit to the batter right now.
I wouldn't leave my feet in the upper deck. That's a dangerous move.
Yeah, I agree.
2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 7-2 Rays in the 6th inning. Pepio kicks, throws, pitches fought off foul, lower deck this time. And it lands in the hands of a fan with a glove. A youngster, and able to hold on. So still 2-2 on Trout. He's had some deep at-bats this night in terms of pitches seen. Struck out looking both times. Again, a 2-2. Swing at a foul back, and it remains even.
Every time we get a foul ball up to this level, I get flashbacks of my Apple computer, my Mac, getting shattered by Taylor Walls on the, third pitch of the game?
In a spring training game, no less.
It was a fantastic day.
Well, you went out and got another one today.
I did.
2-2 is low, 3-2. So
listen,
you got to be careful, my friend. This time, if there's a ball coming up, the laptop goes flat on the ground.
Nailsy, I'm jumping behind you with the laptop. Save us. You seen me on PFPs. I'm a disaster.
Well, that's why I didn't understand why you went after it. The pitch. Line drive and a left. That's going to sink in there for a base hit. Simpson to go get it on 2 hops. Play it into a second base, and Trout has a 2-out single, so no perfect inning for Pepio here in the 6th.
Well, that was a hard-fought battle right there, and eventually Mike Trout able to win it. This is a pitch up in the zone, change up, and Trout stays on it, and that wasn't a bad pitch. It's just Mike Trout. I mean, look, he's been fighting. He's seen a ton of pitches so far from Pepio, and this one he was just able to get the better of him.
4th hit for the Angels. Here's Taylor Ward, the cleanup man. And he takes up and in for a ball high 1-0. You'd like to get 100 pitches out of Ryan Pepio, but a lot depends on what happens here with Ward, because you got Joe Adell on deck, who just homered his last time. Speaking of homers, Ward can get into one. 26 of those and 84 ribbies. And he takes
One
way
strike.
high for a ball 2-0, and both those well out of the zone, and you get a little nervous that Pepio gets wild out of the zone and then wild in the zone to an Angels team that's 4th in baseball in home runs hit.
Yeah, good time to reset right here. 85th pitch of the night for Ryan Pepio. Dangerous hitter at the plate.
2-0 to the left fielder with 2 out. Way high. That wasn't close either, and it's 3-0. And all of a sudden, Ryan Pepio has lost the strike zone.
Well, he's just coming out of his delivery. Delivery was so compact through the first 4 innings, and he's one of those guys that needs to stay compact and balanced over the rubber. Stay back, get on top of the ball.
3-0. Taken all the way a strike, 3-1.
It's kind of a reset pitch. Taking all the way for Taylor Ward.
All right, let's see what Pepio can do now. 3-1, though. All fastballs in the sequence. The pitch is high, ball 4, and there's a 2-out walk. So a 2-out single, a 2-out walk, and Joe Adell has already homered twice in as many days.
For the Angels.
No balls and a strike here to Adell. Well, they couldn't want anything more than this. They get their power up with a chance to change to the feeling of the game. They're strike 2. Pepio, excellent job of jumping ahead. Little flare. This could be trouble. It's a base hit. The 3rd run is home. Adell to second. He's safe because the ball got away. And it's 7-3. Looked like the Rays might have gotten a lifeline there for a moment.
Yeah, what should have been another out by the Angels on the base pass. And they're not able to cash that in. That ball getting away from Taylor Walls. We'll have to see exactly what happened there. But that ball off the bat, right out in the no man's land. That ball's up and in on Adell. And he floats it into right field. And right here, Jake Manga making a nice play, making that throw right here. Looked like it was going to be over that. It looked like Taylor caught it clean. Yeah. There's Trout scoring the run. Maybe Adell knocked that ball out of the glove.
That's what it looked like. Perhaps with his shoulder.
Yeah, that's exactly right. As soon as he made the tag, that ball came free. Fumble.
And into the base hard, and it finishes Pepio's night on a little flare. Griffin Jacks coming in to face Logan O'Hoppe when we come back.
All right, I got a couple packs of 1980s.
Angels get runners at second and third with 2 out. Now, Griffin Jack's second appearance as a Ray. Mostly with the Twins, he would begin innings. But he's coming in here in a hot situation. O'Hoppe with second and third. And it takes all of one pitch. And he pulls the plug on the Angels. So Griffin Jacks gets it done. That did. Top of the order, Simpson, then Yandy Diaz, Brandon Lau. There's Yandy. He started the 7-run rally back in the 4th. Chandler barking at himself after chasing that pitch up and out of the zone. It was 1 and 2.
Well, on the other side, be thankful that you were able to get to it, because that's a pitch you usually swing through, and Chandler was at least able to foul it off and be able to see another.
2 and 2.
So one thing that Chandler does a really nice job of, he limits swing and miss, and therefore he limits strikeouts. We talked about it coming in, 12 strikeouts in his last 172 plate appearances coming into play tonight. So does a good job of putting the ball in play, and when he does,
Moore knew he had to get rid of that fast.
Yeah, and that's what happens. But when he does put the ball in play, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, he's at 88% line drive ground ball. That's why he's able to maintain a very healthy average and find his way out onto base an awful lot where he can create even more havoc.
Here's a guy that's created some havoc, Yandy Diaz.
You can break these things down and look at a guy's hitter profile, and a guy like Chandler Simpson, 8% fly ball, 4% pop up. Everything else is line drive ground ball,
which is what you want from him.
That's it. Line drive is going to lead to the batting average. That's going to help that when you've got an above average line drive percentage. And then the ground ball with him is different than most guys, because he can take routine ground balls and make close plays out of them, force errors, beat some out.
I even like on that one grounder we just had, Christian Moore, it was hot potato. Get rid of that thing as fast as you can, just to.
Oh, that was especially after last night.
Right.
He was the one with Josh Lowe that took his good old time, and Josh beat it out. Yeah, that becomes part of the scouting report. That's why you go back to when you have a team that all the guys are hustling out of the box, and you're forcing the defense to again, it's part of the scouting report, and you hear about these guys and how aggressive they are, and you say, we've got to be clean in all of our plays, and it puts a little bit of pressure on that defense. And when you add pressure to anything, at times you'll get them to crack. Let's take a look. Let's go back to the 4th inning. And here it is. This is where it started to go south for Jose Soriano after an infield hit by Yandy Diaz. How about this? Brandon Lau, our StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. A 2-run homer, exit velocity 105. Teodosio even climbing the wall there in the little graphic. That was kind of cool.
Technology gets better and better.
Yeah.
He left a big spike mark in the center field wall, fairly high up.
Yeah. Well, he got up there, but the ball just was behind him, so no chance.
Yeah. It's still there. We'll see if it's fixed by tomorrow afternoon. Well, Fulmer has himself a quick inning. And the Rays have not had a base runner since that big 7-run 4th, but they lead 7-3.
Very good Sunday against the Dodgers. One clean inning with a strikeout, 12 pitches.
We're hearing less about the Rays bullpen lately, which is usually a good thing.
Well, yeah, and I'm going to tell you, the thing you want to highlight right down there is the walks. Just 7 walks. And I think that's something that has, gotten away from the Rays pitching staff at times. Far too many walks. It just feels that way. I don't know exactly what the raw numbers are, but it just feels that a staff that typically is attacking the strike zone with reckless abandon sometimes, just too many walks. But 7 and 34 2/3, that's outstanding. So you limit those base runners and you limit chances.
Like the Caminero for the first out. Even tonight, the 2 innings that the Angels have scored, there's been a walk right in the middle of them.
Oh, yeah, I'm telling you, they have really come to haunt this pitching staff at times. And really, that's true around the game. I mean, walks typically, especially if they're early in innings, those a lot of times don't turn out so well for you.
Oswald Peraza. Strike 2, 0-2.
Just bury that slider. That is an outstanding delivery there. Offering by Baker.
He went. And it's a 3-pitch strikeout for Baker.
Slider changeup to finish him off.
2 very quick outs for Brian Baker. Look at this thing.
Straight down. Just straight down. Not sure what he was seeing, but he went way too far.
All about getting ahead of the hitter. And now Teodosio. Kid's hitting these days, right up the middle. 2-out single for Bryce Teodosio. Turns the lineup back over again.
Fastball here, back-to-back fastballs, and Teodosio just whistles that ball right through the middle of the field. Didn't even finish the swing. I mean, he kind of cut that off right after contact, but that ball was hit hard.
Some guys have these big, long follow-throughs. Other guys,
yeah,
you're right. It looks like they're not quite done yet. 4 hits in the series for him. Teodosio runs and steals second base. It looks like he stole that off Baker.
Yeah, I mean, and most of the time that's the case.
Well, Brian trying to bear down and get Neto. 1-2. ball, 2 strikes to the Angels leadoff man. Fouled off the catcher, Fiducia. It stays 1-2. Popped our way and out of play. Stays 1-2. On the line tonight for the Rays, perhaps jumping ahead of the Angels. If they win, they go back ahead of them. Yankees have already lost tonight. Everybody's getting hurt. Fouling it off himself, fouling it off the catcher. And it stays 1-2 to Neto. Not exactly what you would call a classic 2-strike swing. He's still looking to launch. And 1-2 to count. I was curious to see if he'd be in the lineup today. Remember, he turned his wrist over last night on making a diving play. And a tremendous play back deep in the hole, but he was in there. It's 1-2 to Neto. And he finally got him. The beautiful changeup down. And Neto is fanned. And the Angels. Hits and runs together. 7 runs, 7 hits. They haven't had a base runner since.
Goofy game sometimes.
Yes, it is.
Or maybe they can close out, finish on a high note here, extend this lead a little bit. The Angels, almost cutting it in half.
You ever hear this one? And it sounds nuts. But then when you really start to look it up, it is true. In 2/3 of Major League games, the winning team scores more runs in 1 inning than the losing team does for the whole game. The first time I heard that, I thought, that's
in
not
2/3.
Right. 2/3. Yes.
Wow. I would never. Yeah, I would have thought no chance.
And then you look at the scores every night. It's like, my goodness, look at that. That does tend to be, not every night, but across the league, if you look at it, there's usually one big inning that changes things. And sometimes it's not even one big inning, but the other team doesn't score that much. So say like that Rangers game tonight. Rangers scored 2 runs in the 8th and win it 2-1. So they scored more in 1 inning than the losing team did. That's a little bit of an outlier, but tonight. That would be the case for the Rays game if the Rays can hold on. It doesn't sound right. And then you look at it and you're like, I'll be darned.
Yeah, well,
I don't really know what it means, but it's just kind of one of those little fodder.
Fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Fun to think about.
Yes.
Because, that would not. How about this? How about another interesting, I guess, score? This is just one game. It's not an overriding thing. But it was 24 years ago today, okay? 24 years ago today, the greatest comeback in Major League history.
Was that the Cleveland-Seattle?
It was.
That was the one I got it?
Cleveland-Seattle. Cleveland was down 12.
I remember.
2 different times. They were
Really?
down 12-0. They scored 2 in the bottom of the 4th to make it 12-2. Seattle turned around, scored 2 in the top of the 5th to make it 14-2. And then Cleveland with 3 in the bottom of the 7th, 14-5. 4 in the bottom of the 8th, 14-9. 5 in the bottom of the 9th, 14-14. And they walked them off in the bottom of the 11th, 15-14.
So what? See, I forget what year. That's 2001, I guess?
Yeah.
24 years ago?
Yep.
That was past your time with Cleveland. You were out in Arizona during that time.
I was getting ready to win a World's Championship.
Yes, you were. But I'll bet you were interested in that game.
I was very interested in that game. You just, well, again, it's the greatest comeback out there.
I didn't realize that. I remember that game.
I
didn't realize that that's the greatest one.
And I didn't remember the fact that they were down by 12 2 different times.
That seems out.
Down 12-0.
Yeah.
Okay, now 12-2. No, now it's 14-2.
Yeah.
And you're halfway through the game.
Another reason why you're not a betting man.
Oh. Yeah, well, and can you imagine the live bet odds at that point? Goodness gracious.
How many irritating
Could have retired.
people? Yes. Rays have been set down 13 in a row now. They got so many runs all at once that it's holding. But you can step up to the plate with the official debit card of the Rays only at Amerant Bank. To sign up for yours today, visit amerantbank.com/Rays card. Here's Jake Mangum. Jake drove in 2 and really fueled that 7-run, 7-hit inning. Rays have all their runs, all their hits in 1 inning today. Goofy game. 0-2. And Lau got it all started with his 20th home run of the year. I remember the day that Rod Carew got his 3,000th hit on this field. Happened to be looking it up. That was 40 years ago yesterday. Right here. There he is. And a little slicer to left against Frank Viola. Right here at Angel Stadium, where so many great things have happened over the years. That's 40 years ago yesterday. Same day that Tom Seaver got his 300th win at Yankee Stadium. Meantime, we go to the home 8th. Rays still up 7-3.
It's not about confidence. It's about making adjustments just like the hitters do. Pitching coach Kyle Snyder said he looks a lot like the Usaida from last year, and returning to that multi-inning role has helped him settle into a rhythm again.
Thank you, Ryan. And he gets one pitch and one out, which is, heck, that's even better than a strikeout.
You know what has stood out to me? Usaida, his fastball and changeup are close in velocity. 3-4 mile an hour difference. That's not a lot. And you can see right there, that changeup, 4-seam fastball. I mean, it uses those pitches, obviously, the most. A lot of times earlier in the season, you would see those pitches, they mimicked each other almost too much. The movements on the two pitches were too close together. And then when you combine the fact that the velocities are kind of close together, that didn't work out very well for him. The thing that I've noticed over this run is that 4-seam fastball is jumping. It's jumping to the top of the zone. And then all of a sudden when he comes to the changeup is really diving down towards the ground. So the mechanical tweaks that he has made, getting the ball out of his glove sooner, allows him to get to his release point sooner, and now the balls have the two distinct movements, and they're complementary in a much better way. And then all of a sudden you see that occasional cutter. See how that fastball kind of running upstairs, and the changeup, boom, falling off the table. He's splitting the plate north and south as well as he did a season ago. That's why he's putting up these ridiculous numbers. There you go. See that? I mean, look at the difference between those last two pitches. That's a changeup and a fastball that are 5 miles per hour apart. That's not a big gap. But then look at the action. This one goes way down and in. The previous fastball was way up and away. The movements are distinct.
Wow.
And then a cutter that he got away with.
It worked.
Yes, it did.
So what can get the ball to suddenly jump? I mean, you'd think he'd wanted to have jumped earlier in the year, but he couldn't make it happen.
Well, I mean, if the ball is coming, our GTE Financial Instantly Easy Replay was a little bit of a mislocation cutter, but it worked out.
Sometimes it works.
That's right.
I mean, he must be doing something different to make that ball jump.
Well, I mean, when you were talking about getting the glove, sometimes, and I remember, when I was pitching, if the glove was coming out of my ball late or out of my glove late, then I felt that maybe my body is moving towards home plate, and now my arm is playing catch up, and I'm not able to get to my release point on time. That's going to affect my command. Sometimes that affects the movement on your pitches. Yeah. Where if you get it out of there a little bit earlier, now all of a sudden that arm is getting to the release point as the front foot is landing. Everything is on time, and that pitch is doing what it's supposed to do, what it's been designed to do. And that's what it looks like with Usaida. He's getting to that release point, so that fastball is jumping out of the hand. The changeup is rolling out well. Like there again, that fastball running it up and away.
Gee whiz, what an inning for Edwin Usaida. in a row against the Angels. So they like to think, you'd like to hope that 7 are going to be enough. How about adding on just a little bit? Tough play for Moore, no chance. Boy, nobody was backing him up. So DeLuca tries for 2 and gets there. Christian Moore was a man on an island. No one moves to the baseball behind him.
Well, and it cost him 90 more feet. That's poor. That's just poor. Don't assume. An outstanding effort by Moore, but he's not able to come up with it. And DeLuca realizes, hey, there's nobody back there, just like you said. I'm going to pick it up. Good heads-up job base running there by DeLuca. And pretty poor on the Angels for no help.
They call it a double. When do you ever see an infield double? But that's what it was. And now Fiducia. So the Rays' first base runner since Chandler Simpson's double to left back in the 4th inning. So if nothing else, Fiducia will try to pull the baseball here and try to get DeLuca to 3rd. If not, just cash him in himself. Now this is Fulmer's 3rd inning of relief. Another thing, too, that needs to be mentioned, when DeLuca missed so much time this year that it's easy to forget how fast he is up the baseline. I don't think Moore was going to have to play one way or the other, so that put some pressure perhaps on Christian Moore, and the ball got away. And we just saw Pete Fairbanks warming up. Full count.
I love the grunt on a changeup.
What is that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to grunt on all your pitches or on one pitch, you got to grunt on all of them.
He grunted, and he also missed.
Yep.
First and second. Taylor Walls coming up, nobody out. Coming up after the last out today, Rays Live post-game, presented by Advent Health. And Doug Wechter on the left side of your screen will be there with Ryan Bass, discussing Brandon Lau's 20th home run. Joe Adele, hello homers. All right, and clubhouse interviews. Ryan and Doug.
What's Nielsen going to be doing? I'm
guessing Neil's going to be working on all his paperwork and index cards and laptop files on our drive back to the hotel.
Yeah, well, he's going to be doing that, and he's going to be wanting to break down the game.
Yes,
and I'm going to have to tell him, Nielsy, listen, bud, appreciate it, but
game's over.
Let's just ride back. We'll revisit this tomorrow.
I will say, Neil loves to break down a baseball game.
He does. And I get caught in the back of that bus with you two, and I've got to fake sleep because Nielsy will start chewing on my ear.
It's been a ruse this whole time. 0-1 here to Walls.
Yeah, his analysis does not end when the game ends. No, it does not.
It's like having somebody from baseball operations right there with you all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Breakdowns and maps, and
he'll want to touch on other games.
Oh, yep. Some nights I'm up for it. Some nights I'm not. But I tell you what, my pal is always up for it. You got to love consistency. They get one, and Walls beats it out.
Moore was not able to get that ball out of his glove in time. That was a tailor-made double play. It would have been close, but Moore, who's not having the greatest of series here so far out in the field, just has a little bit of trouble right there. Just that little bit. That's all it takes. You talk about fractions of an inch or fractions of a second.
No, Walsey's another guy.
Fractions of an inch.
I knew what you meant. Walsey's another guy that gets up the line extremely well. Rays hitters, routine grounders aren't always so routine. Here's Chandler Simpson. You'd like to get on the, as they say, on the other side of the slam. It's a 4-run lead for the Rays. And the difference between 4 and 5 is a lot. Because in theory, they can't tie it then with one swing if everything goes their way. The Angels will have Adele, Ohapi, and Moore due up. It looks like he gets Pete Fairbanks in just a little bit. Throw to first. Wells was hardly off the base. The Rays used a sac bunt earlier from Taylor Walls. See if Simpson's thinking about it. Nope, low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. One and one here to Chandler Simpson. RBI double. 1 for 4 overall. Walls runs. Hit in the air, out of play. And it is 1-2. Well, with a count 1-2, you got a very good contact hitter at the plate. We'll see if the Rays send Walls once again. Here's DeLuca. It's an important run over there at third. Walls runs again. It's strike 3 call. Walls takes second on the steal. So Chandler in his first game back does fan twice. He also knocked in a run.
And both of those strikeouts looking. A curveball that he wasn't expecting from Soriano, and then that well-placed fastball by Fulmer.
All right, 2 out. Another chance for Yandy Diaz. Usually the top part of your order hits 5 times. You've scored some runs. The Rays have tonight. Only 92, but he buzzed it right by him. Something to think about, especially if the Rays hold on. And I'm looking at this as we speak. I think I got this right. Yeah, the Rays haven't scored 7 runs in a win since the first day after the All-Star break. They beat the Orioles 11-1. Hasn't happened since. The offense breaks out a little bit. 3-1. Fulmer's not only grunting, he's providing commentary.
He's not real happy with that pitch at all. I mean, late night with the Rays.
That's it. It's okay this hour. Yandy to right, but not deep enough. Maybe at the Big Stein, but not here at the Big A. Yandy Diaz flies out. Rays strand second and third. 3 out.
velocity. So you talk about a guy who's got a changeup that sits pretty close to the fastball. It's Fairbanks, 97 and 94. The slider, 86. A lot of depth on that pitch. Really good arsenal here for Fairbanks.
Well, and who did he strike? He struck out 3 in the ninth. Who did he strike out Saturday? Ohtani, Freeman, and Teoscar Hernandez consecutively, all swinging. That was a pretty good day's work.
Who does he think he is? Ian Seymour?
Yeah, really. This should be the first out of the inning. It's DeLuca. Puts it away, and there's one. Two outs to go. We have the afternoon affair tomorrow. There's Ian Seymour, who's striking out every Hall of Famer that comes his way these days.
We were calling the strikeout of Mike Trout last night before it happened.
You did, didn't you? You called that thing.
Like I said, look who he went through with the Dodgers.
Yep. Going to Cooperstown, I'm going to get you. Here's Logan O'Hoppe. Reminder, we have a day game tomorrow. 4:07 first pitch for Shane Boggs against the lefty Tyler Anderson. I keep calling him Alexander. Tyler Anderson tomorrow for the Angels. The left-handed angel named Anderson tomorrow afternoon. 99.
Top of the zone. And then you think about that slider, and really his slider is more like a curveball. It's got more of a curveball look, a lot of depth to it. Well, the changeup's becoming kind of a weapon for him at times.
Look out. Back near us. Base number 2. Somebody get it?
Well, it's someone. When the ball goes up and behind you, get your head on a swivel. It comes down hot.
Some big fella just rolled down about 3 steps. It's not worth it, sir.
That's what we're talking about.
That's the one. No, it didn't go. I guess.
Go, but you see the depth on that. My goodness, I mean that's got more of a curveball look. Ooh, ring him.
No, sir. I wouldn't do it. 1-2 now. Didn't chase it that time. Well, I'll tell you, that's one thing I've really learned from working with UVA is that just because they call these pitches certain things doesn't really mean that the action of the pitch, that looks every bit a curveball.
Absolutely. No question. And you watch enough baseball, you know what it is.
Down the right field line for Yandy Diaz. Maybe. Nope. Yandy wanted it. 2-2.
And by the way, that may be the way that he throws that pitch. Sure. When you see it coming out of his fingers, but then you got to think about his arm angle. Fairbanks is a tall guy, a big guy, over the rubber. He's got a high arm angle. So ripping down a slider like that will create more depth, and it'll have more of a curveball look, even though he's throwing it like a slider. See how over the top he is? That's the other thing that makes his fastball so effective, is that he can drive that fastball downhill to the bottom of the zone, but he can also drive that fastball up. He doesn't have to. He can do both with the fastball, and then here comes that slider off of it. Right there.
And it's called strike 3.
Yeah, I mean, down and in. We've talked about how good he is at times with the fastball at the top of the zone. Watch the angle on this one. From release to catch. Boom. I mean, down. What are you going to do with that? You're hoping that it's called a ball. That's it.
That's even a hard pitch to foul off.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's just perfectly located at that velocity with that kind of downward angle.
Last chance for the Angels is rookie Christian Moore. Angels will put Luis Rengifo into the big area if more region. Double cash in the Rays, they're ready to celebrate. But not too much because they got a quick turnaround for tomorrow. And it's 3-0. You know, this is Kevin using Jacks and Baker and Lucetta and Fairbanks in non-save spots. But that being said, it's a quick turnaround for tomorrow, and then they get the off day. So I would tend to think they're probably all available tomorrow as well. 3-1. Think about it. They haven't had many opportunities to use these ahead guys because they've been behind so much.
Well, and I was going to add, and you need to win.
Sure.
You need to get on a run. And so you do whatever you have to ensure that. Or give yourself the best chance.
From 3-0 to a full count. The Rays are a strike away. Well, Christian Moore, none too pleased.
Well, I mean, it's up and in.
Yeah, he's right.
Right there on the borderline. That pitch could go either way. So, I mean, no, you're not real thrilled with it, but
I foresee a big bender coming. Let's see. Nope, fastball, and it ends the night anyway. Pete Fairbanks does slam the door, and the Rays win it out here in the Big A in Anaheim. Final score, Rays 7 and the Angels 3. And that's the kind of night the Rays needed. The offense breaks out, and the pitching did their part as well. This is how it ended.
What, another fastball in. He just tied up Moore, could do nothing about it. Nice job by Fairbanks to come back from that 3-1 deficit in the count and finish it off in style. Another punch out.
Fairbanks finishes off a win for Ryan Pepio. Jose Soriano takes the loss. And the Rays get all their runs in one inning. Started by that man.
Well, and that inning, Andy, was in